Deep within the freezing asteroid belt, a crew of overworked blue-collar miners inside a cramped scout ship witness their massive mothership explode. Now their pilot, Constant, must navigate corporate bureaucracy, space dementia, and a ship of rat-filled tube soup to hunt down the saboteur before the timeline catches up. This national sneak some zucchini onto your neighbor's porch day. Grab your Venus and prepare Uranus for a whimsical thriller where survival is done on a whim. Coming soon to a theater near you. Tube. Attention, all crew members. This is your acting captain speaking. We have successfully breached the atmosphere of Sector 9. The gravity generators are fluctuating wildly, and I am officially declaring space martial law. John, you are under arrest for insubordination and for hoarding the emergency rations.
We are not actually in space. We are still in the studio, and those emergency rations are just a sleeve of stale Thin Mints that you successfully hid from your own children that I found and claim as my own. Now, calm down. We've got this.
John, a true space captain never calms down when his vessel is in jeopardy. But fine. You know, I was looking at the listener check-ins for tonight, and Constant K, another first-timer on the pod, heck yeah, he sent us this beer called On a Whim from Original Pattern Brewing, who are becoming regulars on Beer Me That Movie. Now, normally, when a regular person hears the word whim in a movie title, they think of like a whimsical, low-stakes romantic comedy where a guy impulsively quits his job to open like a boutique bakery that only sells gluten-free croissants.
Only to later meet the pixie fairy rebel woman of his dreams, and they decide to become vagabonds and take their houseboat around the world.
Why make gluten-free croissants for just the people of Amsterdam when we can make them for people everywhere?
I think exactly how that movie usually would go. But once again, we are choosing to zag instead of zig, which begs the question, if we're always zagging instead of zigging, does zagging become the new zig?
I didn't know there was going to be a test tonight, John.
Not really a test, more like a philosophical quandary. I mean, yes, it's a question I could have answered while taking a number 2 before the age of cell phones, when bathroom trips were really just a deeply meditative experience. But sadly, those days are behind us. Anyways, let's not cry over spilt potpourri. We are indeed zagging this week. We are bypassing the obvious rom-com route. Instead, we took On a Whim and turned it into high-concept, blue-collar, sci-fi, psychological thriller set deep in the freezing vacuum of an asteroid belt.
All right. But, you know, I started reading through your world-building notes before we hit record, and my brain went to outer space. I mean, actually, it was already there. You're right. Well, that's a medication dosage problem I'll maybe never figure out. Anyway, in this movie, a whim isn't a sudden houseboat-fueled impulse. It's a tiny, claustrophobic tin can of a scout spaceship with 3 asteroid miners are crammed inside it, shoulder to shoulder with 0 legroom, and they go hunt for rare minerals while their massive 1,000-person mothership, called a hunch, watches on.
And our protagonist is named Constant. The fleet's most unflappable whim pilot. The core terror of this movie is that Constant and his small crew land on a massive unregistered asteroid. They're going to turn around and they're going to watch their mothership, the Hunch, blow up in the distance. And then a something steps out of a portal, looks them dead in the eye and says something like, "This is the future. Only the 3 of you can stop this. Find the rat." They get a blip. They get shot backwards through time, and they find themselves floating right back to their now perfectly intact ship.
See, if a glowing cosmic entity stepped out of a green portal and told me I had to prevent a future space murder, I wouldn't track down a saboteur. I would catch immediate Wimmer's dementia, lock myself up in the ship's galley, and chug freeze-dried cafeteria tube soup until the timeline caught up and blew us all to pieces.
Well, fortunately, Constant's spine is not made of soggy, gluten-free croissants like yours is, Harry. It's the total space whodunit that we're trying to build, where they dock back up with 1,000 overworked mining slaves who all absolutely hate the corporation, meaning literally everyone on board has a motive to be the rat.
Oh boy, this is going to get deeply paranoid, incredibly claustrophobic, and as always, entirely wild. So strap into your zero gravity booster seats, everybody. Keep your eyes peeled for glowing green portals. And if your co-pilot starts whispering cryptic warnings about a temporal loop, spacewalk for your life in the other direction. This is On a Whim.
Hold your space horses, everyone. This is not a corporate ad break. It's just a quick pause in the podcast you love from the people who love you to remind you that we absolutely love it when you validate our media, our content.
That's right. And the absolute easiest way to stroke our massive creative egos is to visit our website right now and vote on your favorite beer, because folks, the clock is ticking. We've only got 2 more feature films left to pitch before we hit the grand finale and build our ultimate feature film.
That's right. When we first started this laboratory of a podcast, we said we would do 100 episodes, which naturally evolved into 50 full-length movies. Over the years, we've burst a massive plethora of film ideas that have turned into like formal feature film specs.
Oh, the classics like Muffin on the Backside, which got the actual attention of the folks at Funktastic Beer, who then went ahead and made another muffin beer just to force us into spawning our first official cinematic sequel.
Or Big Nose, where I got to completely imagine Pinocchio as a gritty street-level vigilante clacking around in wooden shoes, or who could forget when Harrison gave Bambi a re-engineered human finger sewn onto his hoof so he could operate a fully automatic machine gun.
Truly, the pinnacle of high art filmmaking. All of these and many more questionable creative ideas await you right now in the Beer Me That Movie vault, where your combined democratic votes will decide the absolute final movie we ever make.
So go subscribe, like a post, or share this episode with a friend. The more democratic we can make this final stretch, the more inherently American our 50th movie is going to be.
Vote early, vote often, and let's make history. Now, back to the whim.
And now, John and Harrison present our feature film.
So Act 1, I say we open this movie up 2300 AD.
Ooh,
got the little space, like
yes.
the weird, the very archaic looking font with
Yes,
like mono
space font. Sure.
space font. Yes.
Yep.
Kuiper Belt. You know, we tell the folks we're out there. We're not going to Mars. We're way past
Mars
that.
is yesterday's news. Mars is just the toilet of the inner solar system now.
There's nothing left there.
Earth is the garbage pile. Mars is the toilet. We just keep destroying planets every 100 years. Once we get there, we're the
dry.
best. On to the next place.
And
Too
now
much poop.
We don't even have maybe a home planet. We're spacefaring people.
That's right.
Because now it's easy. You just throw your trash out into space.
That's right. Make your own asteroid belt of
Just
garbage.
like my dad. Open the window, chuck it outside.
That's right. Let the Lord sort it out.
We're making new planets. That'll never come back to haunt anyone.
No.
And I say this movie's called On a Whim. We start it on the whim. People
Yes,
come
we
to
do.
this movie, they want action, so
We're gonna give them action.
we're gonna. How many people can fit in a whim?
Barely 3, probably
that.
legally 2, but there's like a storage compartment they just bolted a seat into for the third person.
It's a definitely 2-person ship.
You have to have 2 normal sized people and a slightly smaller person in your whim, known as the underwhimmer, who just sits in the garbage, basically an old garbage chute. And that's the first one to die, hit something, is right in the front of the whim in this tiny little seat.
A Tom Cruise sized person.
That's right.
Perfect underwhimmer.
Right, exactly. They get paid a little bit more in tube soup than everyone else for their risk, but other than that, there's really no benefit to being in the front of any whim or in any whim. But you got to do what you got to do in this dark future where space is full of garbage.
And I like the beer was called On a Whim. We turned it into a space movie about being on a whim. Why do you think they're called whims, and why are we calling their massive kind of tanker ships hunches? We talked about it a little bit in the Fast Five, but I just want to establish this in the world building.
Yeah, it could just be as simple as like the marketing team for whatever creepy corporation, which let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
Came up with, but if we're in the future in kind of a world in the Beer Me That Movie universe that's similar to ours, but different in obvious ways at this point, I think it only makes sense that the person who runs this is our favorite evil tech billionaire, Elon Tusk. He's the head of this space org. Tusk-X, which is a mouthful to say. Everyone stumbles over it, but he doesn't care. And at this point, he's just like a frozen head in a jar that somehow is like
hooked
talking.
up to a car battery.
Right. Right. It's someone's job to go in there every 6 months and replace the battery. It's the most important job in the universe, or so he says. But yeah, so we've got Tusk-X, and they came up with these names for whims, and it's kind of fun. They deploy it like a moment's notice, kind of on a whim. We had a deep philosophical discussion about what whims are last week when coming up with this movie idea, and then they kind of go in and out of these bigger ships that are called hunches, because a hunch is kind of like a bigger whim. What did I say? Whims are hunches with sparkles or something?
I think it was exactly that. A hunch has some kind of bearing, and a whim is more
like... a whim
like...
is just jazz hands. It's just, we're going for it.
I got it on a whim.
We're on a whim. We're doing it. We're shaping my head.
No reason at all.
That's right.
A hunch
we're in sequence today.
Maybe you're going in the military. I don't know.
Or you think there might be a sale at JCPenney, because there always is.
Exactly. So
you've got a hunch.
Hunch and a whim, similar but different. Just like outer space. Imagine a phone booth with wings and a big engine on the back.
Yeah, that's it. An old phone booth.
Of course,
I like that.
Do you need wings in outer space?
Oh boy, I almost imagine the whims being like literally like a phone booth strapped to a rocket. Like it's
perfect.
I guess they can kind of steer it, so maybe you need some kind of wing
like two
or some
little
kind
rockets on either side.
That's it. Yeah, they're just kind of blasting.
Fire the nudgers. Right. We need to go left.
There we go. Perfect. Right. So yes, and they break all the time, and again, it's risky, just like being a miner in like the early 1900s, where it's like, is the elevator going to kill me today and all of my friends, or are we going to have to go to work and die slowly from black lung in 10 years? What's death look like? It's similar. Again, this is not this is not the Millennium Falcon or anything like that. This is basically cheap labor in space,
for profit space.
Exactly. And you're just making rich people richer while you get to be crammed in a tiny can with two other people that made a lot of bad decisions in their life, which is why they're there next to you. Yeah, so not glorious space, but kind of garbage filled space with some questionable folks.
And the main goal is mining. There's money in mining. It's a valuable resource to grow your space fleet. Let's talk about the three people crammed into this little sardine can in outer space.
Let's do it. So, like I said, that's where we meet them. They're getting fired out of the hunch. The whim's shaking. A couple of bolts float away.
Of course.
As our leader, Constance, says, don't worry about that. I put extra bolts on before we left. I knew those ones are going to fly off.
I double bolt everything.
Always double bolt. I'm a double bolter, a big double checker. So Constant is the leader. And he is kind of like a not an anxiety-ridden person. The opposite of that. He has no anxiety because he's always double checking stuff. He's seen too many people launch a whim and explode immediately to not thoroughly go over everything. He doesn't want to die. He's got something to live for, what we may or may not figure out. But yeah, a measure twice, cut once type of person, which would slow a whim team down if Constant wasn't so good at it. So like probably easy to imagine him as just the best whimmer on the ship, which is why they get picked for this mysterious mission. And next to him is... You're the name guy, John. Who should be? You tell me the names. I'll tell you who they are inside this one. We knew Constant going into this.
Constant who's
Constant's co-pilot?
Decent name for a spacefaring
I love
protagonist.
It. Constant is a great name.
And I like that you gave him basically space OCD.
Yes, exactly right. But he makes it look cool.
And so we're going to go blue collar space with the other names. His co-pilot is going to be named Hap.
I love it. Yes.
Not
This blue collar.
Don't call him Happy.
No way.
But he goes by Hap.
That's right. Lost the Happy nickname when I lost my thumb in one of these damn whims.
A lot of missing fingers in outer space.
Right. But I think Hap is not too grumpy. He's more of like a human golden retriever. He's kind of still just excited to be there, but also can spiral down in some anxiety rabbit holes pretty quickly. So everything's going great with Hap until it's not. And when it's not, it goes really, really bad. So you're either sunshine and rainbows with him or a cloudy day with a tornado on the horizon. There is no in between, which can make it great or horrible when you're with Hap.
Wonderful co-pilot.
Exactly right. Great until he's not.
Which one am I going to get today? Please be good, Hap.
Oh my God.
And Hap and Constant have been out on missions together.
Oh yeah, a bunch.
Because of course Hap loves working with Constant, less to be anxious over.
Right.
But the new guy in the ship,
yes, the Underwhimmer.
The Underwhimmer stands at a austere 5'1".
Woo! Just made it.
On his dating profile, he says 5'4".
Of course, well, you have to.
But for the whim, he's the perfect size. The smaller, the better. And he goes by Pip.
Pip. I love it. Pip. Okay, so Pip's
He's
rookie.
the rookie. Yeah, exactly.
It has to be. And so still has starry eyes, probably there for the money, as bad as it is. But it's a job almost anyone can get when you're of a certain age.
And being his size, like.
That's true, too.
Working in the mines, working on a whim sucks, but working in the mines is worse.
It's absolutely worse. It's horrible. Cave-ins happen every day. At least on the whims, you have a 50-50 chance of not exploding.
In space, mining an asteroid with the same equipment that Tuskax was giving its Earth miners, only with like an extra air filter. Like, you'll be fine. Don't breathe hard.
Right, exactly. Don't breathe hard. If you sneeze, I'm sorry.
Lid blows off a lot.
If the person next to you sneezes, you'll also die.
Just hold your helmet on.
Shouldn't there be bolts here? Yeah, we lost all the bolts. They've been floating out of the whims for years, and we have no way of getting new ones.
Don't we mine enough?
Space.
No, that's company mine. We don't make bolts out of that.
I'm mining tungsten that we could make bolts out of right here. No. That's for somebody's fancy spaceship down
You can pay
home.
for it out of your salary.
That's right.
Get your own bolts in 15 years.
Oh my God, I love that. So Pip's the rookie, here for the money and the adventure. But maybe he's starting to realize that being an Underwhimmer isn't all it's cracked up to be. The posters that made it look very glorious of space calls to you.
Be an Underwhimmer. It's like being a cuck. Constant and Hap have their own seeds. Pip is just bound up in a blanket behind Hap.
Exactly. Or I imagine it's like the equivalent of like a giant poster with like a plumber with a plunger who's like, change people's lives, be a plumber. And the reality is you're just snaking hair and poop out of people's toilets all day. You're like, this isn't great at all. They sold Pip the same way.
Tuskax needs you.
That's right.
Underwhim.
Only you can be an Underwhimmer.
Are you this tall? Are you shorter than this poster?
It's the only posters I could see, to be honest, guys. So here I am. Oh my God! Yes. All right. So those are the three. They're all touching each other, smushed into this tiny little whim. And their mission, as we mentioned, but we'll say it again, is since Constant's the best, and this is kind of the best whim team that's still alive. They're sent out to this brand new asteroid. So I think the vision I kind of have here loosely is like space has been mined by AI or scouts or whatever. So they kind of know where all the asteroids that are worth mining should be. But every once in a while, you discover as a hunch, a new
on a hunch,
unmarked asteroid that hasn't been tracked, but you scan it with your scanners on your ship, and it's sending back all the right data.
This one doesn't have a name.
Exactly. This one could be full, and it's full of tungsten. It's a big old ball.
That's why they left it off the maps.
That's right. Maybe saying it for something special. We can get this and go home early. So that's kind of the chatter in the captain's quarters of cool, perfect. We got a bunch of whimmers we can exploit. We can hit our quota. We can get out of this, get back to Earth where we can see human women again or whatever. and
not a lot of human women on a hunch.
Yeah, that's right. It's against the law. Bad things have happened, folks. But so they're going to this unregistered asteroid to see what the heck it's all about. And so that's the opening scene, is them kind of vibrating and scooting out into space in this whim. towards this asteroid. And then, as we mentioned in the Fast Five, they kind of get closer, and this weird green cloud appears out of nowhere, and they fly through it because it's tough to stop a whim on a dime. You can't do that. You just kind of keep going.
It's basically a rocket.
It's just a rocket. But they get to the asteroid, land down, start scanning stuff.
Okay.
And this cloud of green is still kind of around them, and they're trying to figure out what that is. Kind of like the Northern Lights, is what I'm imagining, kind of above them on this asteroid, which they've never seen. And it's kind of beautiful. Maybe they're taken aback in a moment as they're holding on their space helmets.
This is a new thing for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Trying not to float away, trying not to sneeze and kill everybody.
Always keep one hand on your helmet.
One hand on your helmet. There's a lot of posters inside this ship of just stick men. Mine with your good hand, or mine with your weak hand. Hold your helmet with your strong hand. For Tuskex, keep your head together. Labor is expensive. Don't sneeze. So got it. And so they're on this asteroid, see the green smoke and whatever clouds, and it's a nice moment, but I want it to be interrupted by this loud explosion noise, John, and they look behind them, and it's the Hunch through this cloud of green, off in the distance. Like a huge explosion out of the back of it.
The Hunch explodes.
Yes, and it's starting to drift and on fire and collapsing and all that horrible stuff.
Pit the Underwimmer's like, oh shit, I gotta live in this thing with these two guys for the rest of my life.
I've got a sneeze coming. The explosions make me sneeze. Oh God. So
tickle is murder.
The signs inside the ship are going to be gold. Man, what a horrible golly. All right, it's all about perspective. It seems pretty rough in the future. Yes, and so they're all shocked, obviously, terrified. A million thoughts go through their head. Oh my God, we're stuck on this rock. All our friends just died. What happened? What do we do?
The asteroid's big, but it's like the size of maybe a small city?
Yeah, it's big. It's Armageddon asteroid size. Okay. It's big.
But not livable. Doesn't have an atmosphere.
No way. No. And it's spinning out of control. Like it's kind of, you feel like you're on a roller coaster when you're on there for a little too long. So definitely not livable. Nothing to eat. You can't sneeze. You only have your whim, which basically has enough fuel to get back. And so they're freaking out. But as this is happening, behind them, another green portal opens up, and this kind of hooded creature steps out of the portal. It doesn't get too close to them. They're probably 20 feet away. They're all shocked. Can't really make out what it is, other than it seems alien. It certainly seems foreign. Definitely not.
Doesn't look like
their buddy,
another Wimmer.
Right, exactly right. Yeah, doesn't look like another Wimmer. Dressed in a strange cloak.
Hat probably gets nervous as hell. Tail between his legs.
Right. It probably starts with oh, good, the rescue crew. Wait a second, that thing looks weird. It's glowing green. It's got devices I've never seen. Yeah, absolutely.
Who's holding Pip up as a human shield?
Right, and Pip's like, I'm gonna sneeze at him, sneeze that way, sneeze at that thing. And so, but this creature doesn't attack, doesn't jump and freak him out or whatever, just kind of walks forward close enough to them to deliver this message that we said now in the intro, but just says, this is not the now, this is the future, kind of pointing to the ship. Only you three can stop this. Find the rat. And then it steps back into the portal and is gone, leaving all three of them kind of bewildered. And
okay, I gotta know.
Go ahead. Yes.
Do we get a good enough? This is an alien for sure, because it's a space movie and aliens are real, and we finally get to know it. And this crew meets maybe the first intelligent life that humans have seen.
Yep.
What does it look like?
I think really, for the viewer, if it was a movie, it'd be the whole thing would be this bright portal, and maybe that would kind of obscure what it is. You can make out a hood. You can make out that it's kind of humanoid looking, but got like a weird respirator thing on and a suit on, so you can't really make out, is it scales? Does it have feathers? Is it made out of rocks? We don't know.
It's not a possum.
Right, not a giant space possum. But I think what is really important is it reaches out to the ship and points at it. You can see that this figure only has 3 fingers, kind of humanoid looking, but a 3-fingered creature.
Definitely alien.
Right. So that's enough for everyone to be like, oh my God. But again, it's gone. It's there for less than 30 seconds to deliver this ominous but crucial message. And then it steps back into the portal. Portal shuts and closes, and then I think like the asteroid should like vibrate a bunch, so they have and it feels like it's going to explode, so they jump into the WHIM just to get off the asteroid to live for maybe 15 more minutes. But as they do that and float out of the cloud, they turn around and see the hunch, and it's fine. They're back in their original time. So we don't know how
the creature says
correct,
like basically like I'm giving you a glimpse of the future.
Exactly right. And we don't only you, and we don't know if it's a week in the future, a day, a month. We don't know any of that stuff. So
it has 3 fingers.
The clock is ticking. Yes. Creature said as much, I guess, as it could, but
Pip notes. He's like, my girlfriend would never want to be with an alien that is not enough fingers. I am safe.
Right. They couldn't reach around. Couldn't get far back enough with just 3 to where it matters.
For whatever that means.
Yeah, it's the
I'm
future.
safe from losing my girlfriend to aliens.
That's right. Woo, thank goodness. It's a good day to be Pip. Yes.
Okay, but so basically this movie opens up, we learn about the WHIM, the Whimmers, the crappiness of space.
Yeah.
And they get a vision of what's going to happen
on
this sort of magical asteroid trip.
Yes.
Another question that I need to know.
Yep.
When I was growing up, Harrison, Pluto was a planet. We might not address this in the movie, but do these we're 200 years or 300 years in the future. What happened to Pluto? Is it back to planet? Is it mined out of existence?
Yeah.
I just want to know because it only matters for me. And maybe you listening.
I think mined out of existence. And how about this, actually, John? I think Pluto was one of the first planets after Mars became a toilet and Earth was a garbage dump that we went to start mining for tungsten because Master Tusk X demanded it for whatever nefarious plans he had. And there's rumors about Pluto, John. Rumors that when humans got there first, they found ancient structures of another species, another civilization there, and a bunch of miners disappeared. And they mined it as much as they could after that, but abandoned Pluto for some reason. So Pluto's kind of in like miner lore and legend as this failed mine colony that nobody really talks about, and certainly nobody goes near. But a lot of mystery about
that would
Pluto
explain why they're telling us it's not a planet.
There. Right,
they're already trying to
set the stage. Yes, but I think maybe Pluto comes back and is significant today, John. I don't know. I'm having some ideas percolate, but that's what we know about it. If you're a miner, then is that Pluto was this failed mine colony with a lot of mystery, and maybe they stumbled upon something very ancient they shouldn't have that tried to give them the boot.
Like it's the minor cautionary tale.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Oh yeah, back when we tried landing on Pluto, everyone got space sickness.
That's
everyone,
right.
Like
they pooped for weeks.
Like what are they? Shell shock.
Oh
like,
right, there you go. Yes,
the space sickness. Everyone, and that term also became part of the vernacular of this spacefaring version of humans. Like just like today, someone might say you have ADHD just because you're late, and all of a sudden you're diagnosed by a casual friend. Same thing here, and like, oh, he's got space sickness.
Yeah.
Why? Well, he didn't want to go on his whim today,
exactly,
but it could also be like a real.
Okay, I like that. Something like and even to take it further, we could have something called Wimmer's dementia, which is similar to like nitrogen narcosis, which can happen when you go too deep too quickly underwater, and you feel like it's also called like the Martini's disease, where you feel drunk. All you do is when you're terrible. It is terrifying. If it happens scuba diving, you're supposed to swim up a little bit and it's supposed to go away, and then you go back and you're good. But this is this kind of hallucinatory dementia that can happen from space, radiation, alien magic, who knows, but it can hit people. I like that. So people are also worried about that, similar to how in The Abyss they talk about getting the bends, and you can like get all shaky, and then one Navy SEAL tries to hide it the whole movie, and that creates some tension. So that's what every miner is worried about. So we say all that.
I love that because that's exactly where we are now.
Exactly right.
It's Pip's worst fear. It was the one thing that kept him from maybe enlisting, and now on his first trip, he's got Wimmer's dementia. Right. He's going crazy in this little tiny whim.
Right, and they're worried that if they go back and say, "Hey, we just saw a hooded alien show us our ship exploding," people are going to be like, "Put him in the psych ward. Wimmer's dementia,"
which is just a space tornado that flushes people out to space.
Right, that's the ward. Yeah, there are no doctors on this ship. Oh, your arm is broken.
All you guys
go to that door. Yeah. Either cut it off yourself or go through door number 3.
Why is it an airlock? Never mind. Just shut the door behind you all the way.
You can read. We got to do something about that sign. Some of these guys can read. So they're worried about it. They're worried about going back and being honest with anyone because they'll all be seen as insane and shot out the airlock because of this whole Wimmer's.
I love that it's a space movie, but now we're debating how we approach coming back, and it's all shot in a phone booth in a closet.
Yes, them vibrating as more bolts are flying.
We've got the entirety of outer space. We're in the Kuiper Belt, but this whole scene is shot in a tiny little in 2 chairs,
just vibrating, trying all of them not to barf. As they're like, "What did we say?" Well, we can't say what we saw. If we say what we saw, they'll shoot us out the airlock.
But if we don't say the ship's going to explode, we saw the ship explode. Was that real? Exactly. Do I have Wimmer's dementia?
Did you all see it too? Are we all crazy? Right. So they're kind of freaking out, trying to make a plan. And I think Constant kind of is the one that can calm everybody down a little bit of like, I'll figure this out. I always figure it out.
He's the captain.
I'll figure everything out. I'll figure this out too. Don't tell anyone we get back. Let's just go eat our lunch, do our debrief. I'll take care of the paperwork. And we'll meet up tonight or whatever. We'll figure this out together. So that's where they leave it. I think it's a
Wimmer's pact.
Oh, there you go.
Pip,
Perfect.
You're new here. Hap, you remember this from before when we weren't gay, but we were lost and we thought we were going to die. So we experimented and it was cool and it was fine. But some things stay on the whim. Pip, welcome to the pact.
That's right.
What happens on the whim stays on the whim.
The Wimmer's pact is very different than Wimmer's dementia, but sometimes also just as fun.
It's basically just we keep a secret, right?
That's right. We keep a secret.
And I think that's a fair place to we're on the whim, we're coming back, and we're learning that the plan is to keep this a secret when we get back to the hunch.
But they've got to figure out who blew this ship up. So they're between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, well, either way, they say the truth and get locked up and thrown into space, or they don't say the truth and explode in an indiscriminate amount of time.
So for now, it seems like it's the 3 of them are going to figure this out themselves. But first, they got to get back to the ship. So that's probably a good spot to end Act 1. And we'll see where Act 2 takes us.
This is fiction. That means it's not real, even if it should be.
So usually in space movies, when the ship comes back, there's almost like tractor beams and docking and everything.
Docking, yep.
Not on a hunch.
No.
On a hunch, there's 3 strong magnets on the bottom of the whim, and you just try and get close enough to magnet to the ship.
Shunk.
And then flip up the top and you hold your space helmet and you walk to the airlock and knock on the door and someone lets you in.
Love it. So much less cool. And also a lot of people blow up on the magnet pads. The magnet too quick, you explode. Too slow, doesn't work. It's really tough stuff. But the Constant makes it look easy. I like that. So they're back on the hunch. The ship is fine, in quotes. There's just there's a sign that says new bolts tomorrow as they report how many bolts they've lost. I think it was at least 20. That's fine. Under 40 and we're good. But it's been 20 for 3 days. Under 40 and you're good. That's all. That's the guy who's checking them in. That's his only job. That's if you're under 40, everything's fine. There's your order over 40.
Good luck tomorrow.
Be careful next time. But the timeline's reset. Hunch is fine. And everyone on board is fine as well. But again, Constant's like, I need to start investigating. I need to figure this out, but I don't want to alert our commander. Now, let's talk about the commander for a sec, John. He could probably have a sick name, maybe a quick backstory. Not sure how important he'll be, but it's always good to know the commander of the ship. We kind of have to. So what do we got?
The commander of the ship ideally would be played by Dolph Lundgren, but
great.
The commander of the ship rose from underwimming. So
it was an underwim. So a hero to all wimmers.
The commander of the ship was the tallest underwimmer ever at nearly 5'4".
Said it couldn't be done. So a 5'4" Dolph Lundgren stops at the knees.
Somehow we do that.
That'd be amazing.
He's also a royal blood.
Yes,
He traces his lineage back to Lagerstein
the royal
on
family.
Earth,
Yeah.
before they were exiled into space. This is Commander Blicksteindorf.
Of course, an easy name.
Blicksteindorf.
Another easy Lagerstein name for us to say.
For sure, very Lagerstein-y.
Okay, I love that.
Amalgamation. Commander Blicksteindorf.
I love that he rose up from being an underwimmer and is now the commander of the ship. That's great. This is perfect. And so I think this first scene back, after the kind of brief debrief, which is almost just like, well, was it an asteroid? Yep. Anything weird happen? No. Well, what'd your scanner say? Yeah, it's full of tungsten. All right, great. You're done. Here's your tickets for your tube soup. Head on into the cafeteria.
You get paid in credits, which you can't use on the hunch.
Yeah.
They're good for when you get to a truck stop or civilization. But the rest of the pay is just in tube soup.
Tube soup.
What is tube soup?
Gold. Tube soup is space gold, John. Tube soup. We've taken the best thing humanity's ever invented, soup, and tubified it. We've made it into kind of like
Go-Gurt?
Like a gel almost, right? It go out a little thicker. You can eat it.
If you get the old one, it's like a Slim Jim.
Right. There's different. Yes, the soup can be any form of matter. You can throw it in a nuker and melt it, and it's a hot soup. You can eat it as its tube form, as if it was just like Jell-O that came out of a can. You can age it and have chew soup, they call it. Or you're just taking chunks off it. It cures itself because of the amount of salt that's in it. So if you just leave out tube soup, it just becomes chew soup, which lasts a little bit longer. So soup is amazing, folks, and we've taken that amazing invention with us into space, and it's pretty much all everybody eats. And not for nothing, soup is maybe the perfect meal. It can be, obviously there's tons of different kinds of soup, meat in there, vegetables, you've got plenty of sodium so you stay hydrated.
And you're right, anything that I've ever eaten in my life could be converted into a soup.
Exactly,
and probably be at least as good. Like soup itself is almost like the first meal that was created on a whim.
Yeah, I love that. Exactly. The movie's called On a Whim, but to honor it, yes, we'll have the first On a Whim meal where someone just went, I got a bunch of bones and a chicken head and a rat foot and I'm hungry. What do I do with this?
A Frenchman runs into the kitchen. Oh, give me here. I will make you.
Put it in the pan and put some water in the pan. All right.
Come back in 2 days. I'm hungry now. In 2 days. We will clarify. Now he's German.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense. Every culture's got a soup, but yeah. So soup's this perfect meal. It's made on a whim. The first meal ever made on a whim, and now it's here on a hunch, eaten by whimmers, underwhimmers, overwhimmers, and
do the miners get access to tube soup?
Yeah, it's everyone. And maybe they have the cube soup where it's smaller rations of chew soup, right? Because it lasts longer in the mines.
They get like king size cigarettes, not 100s.
Right, exactly. Yes. So they have cube soup, which is a form of chew soup, which is all a form of tube soup. We can draw a diagram later of the hierarchy of tube soups and the different forms of matter that can take.
I kind of want a tube soup myself in the real world. Like, if I could get a go-gurt of like tomato basil.
Right. Freeze it, put it on a stick. They've got a nice, refreshing treat for a hot summer
Batter
day.
it and deep fry it like a corn dog.
There you go. Yes, you can easily deep fry a soup tube.
Well, the first bite's great. The second bite is all over your shirt. Just leaks right out.
That's right. Oh, he's got soup shirt. Must be a newbie here.
You got to do the whole thing in one bite, rookie.
So just a bunch of men chewing through soup in this giant room, this giant cafeteria, where they're all eating after a hard day's work. And yeah, so that's where we pick up. That's where we kind of see Constant. And I'm kind of imagining this scene being one of him and Pip and Hap
getting together and just seeing like, all right, we don't really have a plan, but let's start looking around. Are anyone acting weird? Maybe we can start questioning a few people casually about stuff. Hey, you seen any bombs lately? You know, like, and see how they react. But almost as if like as they're thinking about this plan, they're maybe also coming to that realization of like, as they overhear people's conversations about the tube soup's too cold today, mine's too hot, this can shakes when I shit, I haven't slept in years,
The doctor told me I'd be fine losing a couple fingers every day.
now I can't wipe my own ass. Right. So there's a lot of complaining going on. And if you're looking for a motive for who would blow up the hunch, well, it's almost impossible because everyone on this ship, John, is pissed off about something. They're trapped in space. They're eating tube soup, which is the highlight of their life, which says everything you need to say. It's not, no one's happy to be there. So who wouldn't want to blow up the ship? And maybe that kind of gives Constance some pause and Hap and Pip of like, my God, we thought maybe we could come and make a difference, but I don't know how the heck we're gonna do it. Everyone on here it could be
be anyone, but also I bet no one really wants to lose their spot.
Sure.
Because, like, I mean, it's just like America today. But, like, we said being a whimmer sucks, being a miner's worse, but there are definitely worse things than being a miner.
Oh my
so
God.
even though that's
soup
not
cleaner,
good.
right? The latrine man.
Exactly. You could just be on a poop ship. There are also poop ships. They're run by a different.
They follow
billionaire.
every hunch. That's right. They flap every day and
Harvest the poop and turn into tube soup.
they go out, they liquefy everything with a lot of hot heat, and they come back to the latrine. They're the cafeteria side of the ship. This tube soup tastes like last week's tube soup.
We could reuse the poop for 14 generations.
We figured it out.
After
before
that,
everybody gets Wimmer's
biologically
dementia.
toxic. Yeah.
We lost a whole hunch going 15 generations. They all lost their minds. Too much tube soup.
So they got to find the rat. They got to find the rat
some way, yeah.
That is gonna someone's gonna blow this ship. It's definitely someone's gonna blow the ship up. I guess the ship could blow up on its own, but not in this movie.
And then the alien said, like, it's up to you. Find the rat. You can stop it. So the only information they have is like someone is going to do this, and we have to stop them. And so I think, once again, their tentative plan is kind of like enter stakeout mode. We can't really confront people. If we do, they may not do anything. Maybe they pull a few folks aside that look questionable to interrogate them.
Like some people maybe they've known or...
Sure, yeah.
Like, hey, did you see any...
That's right.
Any fishy people?
And when they go to Jimmy the Rat, who's the known rat on the ship, who's just the guy that rats out people for better whim jobs.
I got a great
real sleazeball. Exactly.
Rechecking asteroids that have already been checked.
That's right. You melting down chew soup into hot soup again, Jimmy? And selling it for twice the price?
Are there actual rat? Like, there's rats everywhere on Earth.
Oh my God, yeah.
Part of me is like, if I lived in space, I'd never have to worry about mosquitoes or rats or like
mosquitoes,
cockroaches.
Yes. Rats, probably. I don't know about cockroaches, but maybe there's the remnants of the FDA that's really just a shell corporation at this point says turning poop into tube soup is fine as long as there's at least 50% new protein added. So every ship has like just rats running about. They're knocking into the new tube soup, John. So rats not only are there, but they're crucially important.
They're the cows of space.
The cows of space. Much smaller. The milk isn't as good, but you can get it if you're really motivated. And they make
once a year I get a whipped cream sandwich.
That's right. Is this a rat tail? No, that's a noodle in there. You got the noodle. He got the noodle soup. Good luck. Pip got the noodle soup today.
We gotta fix our grinders.
They're just rollers. No one's fixing anything. They're just flat rollers at this point. No
smush.
bolts.
Whatever comes out of the smush turns into the soup.
That's right. There's no help. There's no supply ships. Just poop ships and tube soup ships following this hunch through space.
I guess since this is so bad, have we covered like
right?
Where do these there's a couple whimmers, but most of the hunch is full of miners. Like
Right.
the whims go out, yep, this is a good asteroid,
Yep.
and then the miners go out and chop it up.
That's right.
Where
And
do
they
the
dive
miners
in there.
come from?
Oh my God. They're basically right. Like it's like slave labor, John. They get paid barely anything. It could be a mixture of like criminals, deserters, people who cheated on the DMV test, like the worst of the worst,
You
but
accepted
also
the terms and conditions for one of Elon Tusk's social media
that's
apps.
right. You just checked the wrong. Do I want to see newsletters? Check that box. Do I want to be abducted and taken to a space colony to mine
99
for
years
free?
as
I'll
a
check
space
that
miner?
box.
Sure, yeah,
That
gets
sounds fun.
Gets me verified.
Great. I hope I win. Wait a second. This isn't a contest.
You don't even get an email. You just get pulled up to space from wherever you are.
Exactly right. They just lasso you with some kind of laser lasso and pull you right out of your 88 Bronco DeVille, and you're up now and getting trained to space mine, which the train isn't much.
Hold
of
your
anything.
helmet down.
That's right. If you see someone about to sneeze, run away. If you're going to sneeze, don't. Right, use your strong hand to hold your helmet down. That's a strong hand is the helmet hand. Weekends for mine. And they just sing like the seven dwarfs as they head into the mines, but it's all about how not to die, which is useful.
Yeah.
It's a horrible job, but also a simple job.
If you can turn it into a song, it's less bad.
That's right, but don't sing too loud because the helmet may come off or may tickle your nose.
Everyone shaves their face before a mining expedition.
That's right. Oh my God, only a couple more bolts, a lot of problems would be solved. But there you have it. So if you're there, you don't want to be there, especially the miners, and maybe largely because of Captain Blixtendorf. Maybe if you're a
Good
whimmer, you see a path out. But yeah, if you're a miner, you're just kind of happy you're not dead and hoping you can last your 99 years.
That's true, because like you said, Earth is basically a dump.
Yes,
so there's not really much going on there.
That's right. So Tusk,
you might, if you were aristocratic, you might live on like a luxury ship, but the majority of the population is, I guess,
just
lucky
mining for
to
someone.
end up as a miner, or a whimmer,
just digging around, free to sing and dig and eat your soup. And that's the simple life. The simple life.
At least you get tube soup. Okay, so
That's right.
they've got a ready supply of people who aren't exactly thrilled, but maybe they're so despondent that they don't really care.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
We're looking for the rat. We're having a hard time trying to figure out how does a spaceship have power?
Good question.
I mean, again, we don't have to cover this in the movie, but it's an interesting. I like to key in on this. Like,
me too.
When we're traveling beyond the means that we have today, what crazy shit did they think of to make this work?
Is it nuclear?
Like the whim could just be a propane tank.
It absolutely could be. That someone punctures with a spear.
You got one to leave and one to come home. The gas pedal is just attached to a knife that pokes the...
Right. The brake's attached to nothing. You're just going to crash into the asteroids. Oh, that's good. And then, yes, the gas is attached to another knife that pokes another propane tank, essentially.
I think that's good for propulsion ships like the whim.
Yeah,
but,
exactly right. But for something like
the hunch, that's a big ship. It's got power.
Exactly. Is it nuclear? Is it plasma? Is it a secret? Is it the soup, John? Is everything
the soup itself?
run on soup somehow? It's got enough minerals in, enough salt and sodium in it to create some kind of chemical reaction. I don't know. I'm happy if it's a secret and mysterious, but again, maybe the hubbub is, if you don't eat your soup, just throw it down the right tube so it can power the ship. Just kidding. It all goes into the same place the poop does, and then we eat it next week. What'd you say? Nothing at all.
We've been drinking our pee for years.
That's right.
Might as well eat your poop.
I'm so efficient.
That's fair. I'd like to nerd out on it. The soup is hard for me to understand how the soup feeds people and powers the ship, but it could make sense. I think you're right with like nuclear, or maybe they discover fission technology, so it works a little better. We're not far into space. We're like just outside the solar system.
So we don't need to travel light years or anything, but we need to go faster and for longer than combustion allows. So it has to be something
long-term power.
Yes.
I'll go with a fission discovery on Earth by a Lagostani scientist.
Perfect. That'll be a fun
episode. Elon Musk killed and stole his notebook and turned it into
Tuskex. Yep.
I meant Elon Tusk. Damn it. Oh, I'm gonna disappear now.
You're fine.
Elon Tusk stole it from the Lagostani scientist, turned it into a spaceship engine.
Yeah.
And,
like that.
And that's how they power it. And they also used ice from the ice belt. They need water to cool it. Anyways, who cares?
That's good.
The spaceships have power, a lot of power. The hunches have a lot of power. Let's get back to the mission at hand.
Sure.
How do they try and find the rat? Do they try and find the bomb?
Yeah, I think this next step is they're kind of staking people out is to try to interrogate some people. But maybe before then they've been acting a little weird, squirrely, looking around, talking to people they don't usually talk to. And I think somebody notices that these three whimmers are doing stuff people don't normally do in the cafeteria when they're just happy to eat their tube soup and then go back to mining. They're causing a little bit of a scene, and this person notices isn't like the constable, the sheriff, a captain. I want it to be like the lunch lady, John.
Love it.
Who doesn't miss anything.
Belinda.
Okay, perfect. Belinda. So Belinda, the lunch lady, and she's there on a prison sentence. Like when you're the lunch lady, it's not as bad. You're not going to get crushed by a mine, but you're in there. You know how the tube soup is made. You have to carry that mental burden with you. So they don't give it to just anybody. They kind of give it to people with nothing.
And she's a female. She's not part of the general population.
That's true too, right?
She's
cornered off in the lunch corners. In her own part of the ship.
Behind a glass partition.
Yes, exactly. But she's fun. She's funny, as someone who's a lunch lady named Belinda would be. But she doesn't miss anything. She's constantly observing stuff. It's one of her many gifts. And she notices right away that Constant and his crew are acting weird. So when they go up for a second round of tube soup, because they discovered a new asteroid today, so they got extra tube soup rations, she kind of pokes her head from around the partition and says, like, Constant, what are you three up to? I know something when I see it. This smells like yesterday's tube soup when I'm looking at you both. Something's going on. Let me in on it. You can trust me. I can help you. And maybe they just like decide in the moment, like, whatever. We'll talk to Belinda. What's she gonna do? She lives on the other side of the ship. She certainly won't tell the other guys about it.
And I think there's some desperation. Like, the ship could explode at any minute. They don't really know when.
Exactly. They're sweating.
They're not getting anywhere.
Yeah, sweating. Not just from the soup, but from the pressure and the soup. And so, let's have them
And Belinda says she was in jail for murder, smuggling,
everything,
kidnapping,
prostitution.
But one of the things that could definitely...
Many times.
There's a lot of things I want to say, but I don't want to get this channel taken down. So I will just jump to one of the things that comes up a lot is what's it called when you break in and steal? Breaking and stealing.
Yes.
BNS. She got a lot of jail time for BNS. That's what comes up the most.
Got it.
And and that's enough, I think, for Constant to say, like, actually,
we could use someone with your skills. Right. That's good. I like that. So they see Belinda not just as a confidant, but as maybe someone who can help them figure this out. It's another light bulb moment for Constant. Belinda, of course. You probably know more about the ship than anyone. You're actually in it. Look. We think someone is up to no good. Someone's going to plant a bomb in the back of the ship. Can you help us? And And I think she agrees because why not? She's got nothing else.
Everyone dies.
Everyone dies.
It's a good thing to rally for.
She is kind of involved, whether she wants to be or not.
All these guys could just be crazy. They could have Wimmer's dementia.
Right, but that's fun for her too. Again, she's kind of lonely, stuck behind a partition, smelling of soup all day. This is
you think there's a bomb, eh, sweetheart? Yeah. Where do you think they made the bomb from? Oh, the old tube soups.
You could be right. I've dropped one once and saw it catch fire.
We haven't served double spicy cacciatore in 2 days. There's no way it's holding up till now.
Although the latrines might be a little dangerous. Those could blow up because of that 2-day-old soup. But, okay, all right, I'm listening. Okay, so we've got Belinda on board somehow. And she's there to help and, again, use her skills, which will be very, very useful.
What Belinda can do to help these guys she's effectively, she controls the whole ship. She controls the tube soup. Everyone needs tube soup to live. They all come into the cafeteria to get it. And Belinda can kind of keep her eye out on people that might be acting sus.
Right.
So, and then she can pull them aside and be like, hey you want some
extra soup? Right?
You want some of last week's gazpacho? I've been fermenting it up into a tube.
I'm warming it up.
It's near chew soup. Come to the back with me after everyone leaves the cafeteria. She locks them up and then the guys can interrogate them.
Yes, exactly right. And instead of waterboarding, because water is precious, they tube board them to get the answers.
Get your water in your tube with your soup.
With your soup, hot and full of salt, just as God intended. And so I like that. We'd have a couple fun scenes of Belinda finds a couple sketchy people, pulls them into an interrogation room where Constant and Hap and Pip are in there, asking them tough questions, throwing tube soup at them when they're not giving them the answers they want. But this is really getting them nowhere. It's the same thing. No, it's
fun soup boarding people, though.
Right, it is fun soup boarding people. And sometimes the people don't hate it. They're kind of sitting like, oh, no, ooh, is this minestrone?
There's a red hot fear for the pea soup, though.
Okay, sure.
Please, not the pea. Oh, I'm gonna open the pea soup tube if you don't talk.
Oh my God! All right,
I'll tell you anything. I'll tell you there's not the pea soup. Please, not the pea soup. Yeah, I put a bomb in my ass this morning.
Right.
What?
We don't call him bombs. I call him. It's Fred. He's my underwimmer.
That's fine. That's normal. Don't break the whim pact.
What are you doing? You're tube boarding me. I'm telling you whatever I think will save my life. Okay, so much like waterboarding itself, tube soup boarding, it just gets people to say things, not the truth, not what they need. It's not an effective means of interrogation. So they're upset, disgruntled, and kind of defeated. And this could be that moment in the movie where they're sitting there covered in last week's soup with a bunch of people now running out who could go blab and blow the whole cover of this whole thing. They feel defeated. They're kind of just sitting there on the ground, smelling horrible, staring down off into nothing. But I want like some kind of light bulb moment to happen for Constant. Like maybe Belinda like backs into the room. Belinda's a larger lady, backs into the room with like another tray of soup and for the next round of interrogations, and Constant just stares at her behind and is like, behind, wait a second, behind. The explosion came from the rear of the ship. What are we doing? Interrogating random people. We should be looking in the back of the ship.
The fact that Belinda's ass made him thought of the back of a giant spaceship.
You giant caboose genius, Belinda. You've helped me realize what do we need.
I used to get paid 50 credits for a good look at this.
You boys are getting it from far less. But so Constant has that epiphany that really he should have had in the beginning. The explosion happened in the back of the ship. The back of the ship is a restricted area, John. I think this is where all the minerals are stored. Above it is like the captain's quarters
Officers
and stuff.
only.
Exactly right. So none of the underlings can go back there. So they have to find a way to get into this restricted area. And so Constant shares all this Belinda. They go back and forth, and maybe Belinda like smiles a little bit and is like, I think I have a plan. And that
it sounds like, it sounds like we hit our low point and touched on maybe the next high point. That's a good time for Act 3.
Let's do it.
If this reminds you of your life, we need to talk.
So Constant remembered that the explosion happened in the back of the ship because of Belinda's gigantic ass. But no one can go there. No one walks around the back. It's officers only, held locked up by a key card. And you led us into this act by saying that Belinda had a little bit of a grin at the mention of the back of the ship.
Exactly right. And so I think maybe she smiles and she's like, "Be back here tonight, and we'll get into the back of the ship." So they come back, and Belinda's there in the interrogation room with some soup for fun, not for soup boarding, and they share a tube soup together, and she pulls out a key card, and Todd's like, "Oh my God, how'd you get this?" And Belinda just says, "Oh, just say the captain likes his tube soup delivered directly to his quarters, and along with a couple other things, my rolls, if you will, my caboose." And I grabbed his key. So Belinda lifted the key card
for good behavior.
That's right, from the captain, which gives him access to the back of the ship. So they waste no time, grab some tube soup to go, and Constant and Hap and Pip, sneak to the back of the ship, and that could be, a kind of a montagey scene of maybe dodging some guards and sneaking through some doors.
Don't worry about the security cameras; they stopped working years ago. It's
right.
just a laser pointer.
They're just nests for the rats that could fill the soup tubes. Rats just nested all the empty cameras. So if they squeak, don't worry about it. It's not the camera focusing on you; it's a rat giving birth.
Tomorrow's tube soup.
That's horrible. How do you know all this? Don't worry about it. I know a lot. Know everything about
rat
this ship.
placenta is in 90% of our soups.
It's what keeps the chewy ones hot. Oh my God, I'm learning so much about science, and I hate it. My
rat's teeth will melt if you cook them long enough.
That's great to know, God. Belinda. You're one of one, Belinda. And so they get back there and finally make it to kind of the part of the rear of the ship where that explosion was seen in the time jump, and open this door, this giant vault door where all the minerals are supposed to be. And I think they kind of get in there, expect to see a room full of tungsten, but instead, to everybody's surprise, they see like a giant, almost even more futuristic looking machine. And next to it, John, is another Constant.
Okay.
A future potential timeline version of our Constant is standing right there.
Like a space clone, or?
No, this is a completely different Constant from another timeline.
This brings weird meaning to the name Constant.
Exactly. Love it. Great name. An inspirational name, as we're learning right now. And so do we jump to the conclusion that Constant is the one that blew the ship up? Well, I think this could go a couple different ways. To like, does Constant, regular Constant and future Constant, do they do that thing where they kind of mirror each other and then start to fight? Do they start to kiss? Do they start to dance? Do they start to throw things at each other?
I mean, if I saw a version of myself, I'd be like, this guy knows how I want to be kissed.
Right. I would also be.
I at least want to try.
First thoughts, and he'd be having the same thought because he's me, maybe, right, or a version of me. So that maybe that they pause on that for a moment until Hap clears his throat or whatever. Or Pip goes, "This is uncomfortable. I didn't actually have a girlfriend, and I feel weird."
On the whim,
right? What are we doing? It's too much on a whim. We're not in the whim. Yeah, we're not in the whim right now. We can't do any of this. And maybe they tussle a little bit. And in fact, I think that's a good idea. Maybe they start to almost kiss and then have a dance fight to the two Constants, and one of them pins the other down. We can't tell who for a moment, and at the same time, kind of accuse each other of two different things. The future Constant goes, I knew it would be you that would come to stop the time machine," and regular Constant goes, "It's you. You're trying to blow up the ship." And they kind of freeze and look at each other and push each other apart and like, "Oh, wait a second, a time machine. Wait a second, blow up the ship." And what follows is a little bit exposition-y, but they kind of break down what's actually happened. They start to share some knowledge with each other. And what I'm seeing here is basically like future Constant isn't a rat, but it's just from a potential different timeline. And when he traveled into the future on the whim, what he saw wasn't the hunch blowing up, but was just the alien being on the asteroid that gave Constant built like
a time machine.
Yeah, time machine
schematic.
Exactly right.
Made out of tube soup and rat.
right. Exactly. That's all we needed.
It was the rat and the tube soup.
If you flip the tube soup upside down, it becomes a battery. It can go through time. If it's 51% rat meat, it can
and
also
bolts. You need 2 bolts.
Right. That's it. That was the hardest part, finding these bolts. But so. Yeah, so build a time machine, give schematics anyway to build a time machine. And
he explains this to Constant, like,
correct.
Because Constant's like, I saw the ship gonna explode.
Exactly.
And other Constant's like, no, I saw an alien who told me how to build a time machine.
Exactly.
We're safe.
Exactly right. And then maybe as this is happening, I wonder if, like, over the loudspeaker through the entire ship, we hear the captain call, like, Constant, get your team up here. That asteroid we saw 3 days ago, it's back. And that is enough of a moment for Constant to be like, oh my God, this is it. The ship's about to explode. The asteroid was also right there when the ship exploded. If it's back, my God, like it's going to happen. Or maybe it's just like, it's growing green again, the asteroid. Some clue helps Constant put together that, like, wait a second, this time machine.
And it's not the time machine that future Constant was going to build, because the asteroids, but like,
correct.
I'm wondering, is this enough to get them double Constant to say, like, okay, both of us think the ship's going to explode. I haven't built my time machine yet, so I'll die. Future Constant thinks.
Sure.
Current timeline Constant still thinks the ship's going to explode. Is that enough where they come clean with Captain Birkensteindorf?
Yeah, Blickstendorf, whatever his name was. I think so. I think even here we get into goofy time travel stuff, which we'll probably make fun of next week at the recap. But I think Constant One, our Constant from the whole movie, kind of realizes, like, wait a minute. You think you're building a time machine, but this is close to the moment. Like, when are we going to turn this on? And Constant from the future was like, in just a couple of minutes, you guys walked in just in time. And they put together, like, the bomb wasn't a bomb. The bomb was this time machine malfunctioning and exploding in the ship.
It was a setup.
Exactly. Maybe they don't know that yet, but it's like something went wrong where the tube soup wasn't strong enough or didn't have enough rat bones in it or whatever the problem with this machine was. That maybe they don't know, but it's enough for them both to go, well, let's not do this. And also, let's ask the question, why? Why would these aliens show us 2 different things? This is a setup. They want the ship for themselves. It's the perfect crime is a crime that looks like an accident. These aliens knew that you would build a time machine that worked like a bomb and blew up the ship so they could take it over, and we'd go look for it and also get exploded and cover the entire. It would all be a perfect circle. There'd be no evidence of
just like
time travel because and no evidence of us because we'd explode just like time is a flat circle. So anyway, this makes enough sense for them to be like you said, let's go to the captain. Something's wrong with this time machine. I think we're set up. This feels like a trap, and that asteroid's glowing green again like it was the night we found it. The aliens are getting ready, I bet, to come and take the ship over. So they go to the captain.
And I think when they meet up with Captain Birkenstock, he draws from his underwhelming expertise, and he says, okay, the best thing we can do is play possum.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Listen, guys, like
the best underwhims are good at playing possum.
I've been out there in the whims. And he believes them. He believes them because there's 2 exact versions of Constant. That's a big help. He believes their story, and he launches a plan.
How about this? I got this. How about this, John? Yes, everything you said we're keeping, but I think what he says to add even more backstory is he's like, I'll tell you guys this because of the situation we're in. But perhaps, and some more backstory quickly about the captain. I think he became famous and rose to being an underwimmer because he was the only wimmer to survive the mysterious
from
events
the-
of Pluto.
from the Pluto colonies?
Exactly right. And so the captain,
I heard enough people get taken down by space dementia.
Or as Constant 1 and Constant 2 are talking to the captain about what they saw, the captain stops them and goes, wait, did these aliens, did they glow green? Were they wearing cloaks?
Nice, yes.
My God. Well, last time I saw them, I was floating. I thought to my death and the exploded backside of Pluto.
I'd never tell anyone.
Right, exactly right. I had one hand on my shaft, the other hand on my heart, watching these, making the pact with myself.
When our helmets had bolts.
Right, exactly right. We were rich with bolts. Then. But he's seen these aliens before. So the two constants plus him actually witnessing the aliens as Pluto was destroyed is enough for him to be like, we got what I did that night. I played possum. I played dead. They went right by me. And one of our cruiser ships able to sneak up behind him and blast them away as they escaped. And we haven't seen him since. But you're telling me you saw them 3 nights ago on that asteroid. You think they're coming back? We'll do the same thing. We'll play possum. Here's what we're going to do. And we have a fun montage scene where they like grab a bunch of tungsten, put it in the back of the ship and like one of the airlock jettison things. And he's like, we're going to fire it out there with a bunch of explosives we use for mining. We'll blow it up into the back of the ship, make it outside of the ship, make it look like the ship is exploding. And then I'll just throw it in neutral, shut down the power, and we'll wait for the aliens to show up and we'll get these bastards. And they go, huzzah, Captain Blinkendorf, the best underwimmer.
I am the underwim.
Right, the strongest. I was a power bottom. As a wimmer, I was a power bottom.
The underwim beneath your cheeks.
Power bottoms always win.
I was the seat.
That's right. That's right. We didn't have one back then. There was no third seat when I was under Wimmer. I was holding the other two men's cheeks up as I was holding my own ass in space.
And I think I love that. It doesn't take long to wait because no one likes that in a movie.
Yes,
maybe a couple seconds of silence,
so that happens.
a water drip noise, and then
it all happens.
Real aliens show up that we get to see, and they look like humanoid kangaroos.
Nice.
Big domey heads, giant legs with like 3 knees and a big tail for extra balance.
Of course.
And they all come through this portal, and you and they don't talk really, they just emit noise, and you hear them emit like tube soup, tube soup.
They're like, are they saying as constant everyone's hiding right behind in the shadows and stuff, are they saying tube soup? Is that what I'm hearing?
Is that what they're
Are you
here
fucking
for?
kidding me?
I mean, it's good.
I guess. I love that. So we're led to believe they've realized as well that soup, especially tube soup, is one of the best inventions of the universe. And these creatures with their domed heads, maybe like weak baby jaws, clearly underdeveloped mandibles.
They can't chew.
They can't chew. They've been living off powder and whatever is close to water.
Protein shakes. And soup. German, French, Hungarian.
Yep.
No, soup is humanity's contribution to the universe.
You're right.
Humans made soup.
Right. And maybe
all of us.
The first time they tasted it was that fateful day on Pluto as the planet was exploding and a couple of Wimmers were half blown up, floating around. One of these aliens scooped one up. There was a tube soup in the front seat and drank it for the first time. And they've been hunting for tube soup ever since.
Their whole race. They can't reproduce it. They don't have the rats.
That's right. Exactly right. Don't have the rats. They tried with their own kind, but that brought up a lot of questions. He was already dead. He was dead when I found him. But so it seems like they may be here for the tube soup, but that doesn't matter because what they've done is they've fallen into a good old tube soup trap as they enter the cafeteria, licking their creepy little kangaroo alien lips. Constant and the captain and the crew all kind of jump up from behind tables and whatever and pull out their cool laser guns, also powered by their tube soup shooters, and capture them all. They capture the aliens, who immediately surrender, confuddled that their plan didn't work and surprised and sad and flying with tube
aliens
rage.
Would have destroyed a spacefaring tube soup fed human.
Sure.
But they don't act violent. Like they immediately give up at the threat of violence.
I think so. And I think that's maybe can help explain the whole convoluted time loop thing that these aliens, they haven't used like force in millions of years. They're a peaceful race, sworn off violence, but this is like a small breakaway sect that's still horrible at violence, but the kind of the way they found around it was, well, we can create conditions for accidents and then kind of sweep in. If my buddy dies and I kick him in the soup, we just have more soup, right? Am I wrong, guys? Am I wrong?
I'm just opportunistic. I'm not violent.
I'm just being exactly right. I'm just opportunistic. So that's what these humans have kind of stumbled in on, is this gambit invented by these tube soup fiending kangaroo aliens that didn't work out the way the aliens had hoped because of Constant and the captain and his memory of these aliens in the past. And I think to make it even,
it's kind of like a happy ending, but it sounds like you've got more in the chamber.
There's always good to have a sprinkle a little bit more of shake on your tube soup, as they say, just some chew soup on top.
Don't shake it too much.
Soup.
You're just playing with it.
That's right. Get serious in there. Be an underwimmer. An underwimmer doesn't play around. Underwimmer gets to work. So I think as this is all happening, because one of Constance's traits is to be a constant double checker, of course, the two constants are there now, but that's not enough. A third constant shows up through a time portal.
Great.
Basically to just to double check that the other two constants, right? They all kiss. And just make sure that they did it correctly. Did you guys figure this out? All right, good. Well, you know me, you know us. We like to double check. And maybe they all go to like shake hands, but constant number 3 fist bumps and they have a laugh of constant number 3 is pretty wild. I guess no fist bumping in your, no handshakes in your timeline. And they chuckle and laugh and have some tube soup as they all watch these creepy kangaroo aliens get locked up and shot at the airlock or whatever they end up doing with them to turn them into tube soup.
Probably take their clothes,
right.
Take their bolts.
Yeah, go in here. This is tube
put
soup
them in
room.
the psych ward.
I gotta get the signs down. Gotta take these signs down.
Even the kangaroos can read.
Yeah, exactly.
No, this says airlock expunge.
Right. No.
Get in there, kangaroo alien. So the movie ends with 3 constants and kangaroo aliens being shot into space.
The ship is safe. Maybe we have time travel now. We have a non-working time travel machine, I guess.
Could explode us. Yeah.
It could explode, so we can't have to deal with that. Fix that, ideally. But yeah, ship is safe. The Whimmers are safe. And Constant may have made a great case to be the next Whimmer that gets out of the Whim and into the officer corps, where he's rich with tube soup forever. And certainly
Belinda delivers it to him.
That's right. Belinda backs into the room every time.
You like your soup mother birded?
I like everything you do, Belinda. Get over here with that big old hunch you got on yourself. I've got more than a whim for you. And yeah, great.
In that case, I think we can call this a wrap. We'll be back in a second with Harrison's epilogue. Okay, so we went from 1 to 3 constants.
Yeah, we gotta tie that up.
I think our first alien race on Beer Me That Movie.
Oh, yeah. And maybe.
At least in a feature film.
We had Let It Morph was a blob.
Oh, you're right. Okay, our second alien, whatever.
I think that's, yeah.
We have 47 movies so far.
Can't believe I remembered that one.
And this was our first movie fully in space.
Yes, we did it.
So, Harrison, give me a good like kind of Marvel wrap here.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of things we have to tie up, and the most important thing is we have 3 constants in one.
That's also true.
Timeline, right? But we know the third constant must have figured out time travel or temporal travel because he showed up at the last minute to make sure everything went the way it needed to keep the universe moving the way that it should. So because the third constant knows how to correctly build these time machines, which is actually a temporal machine, so it can move between time and between dimensions, they fix up the one that constant number 2 was building so they don't blow themselves up to send the other 2 constants home. And I think they're saying goodbye, they're hugging, laughing, and enjoying some tube soup, enjoying some jokes about Belinda's rear end. And then constant 2 goes through his portal and it closes and they wave goodbye. And then it's constant 1 and constant 3, so our original constant and then the last constant. And the constant 1 reaches out to shake constant 3's hand, and they do, but constant 1 notices, oh my gosh, looks like you're missing 2 fingers. And constant 3 makes a joke. It's a long story, but now you know why we fist bump, right? And Constant 3 just steps into his portal now and stares at Constant 1. And as this is happening, as he's kind of pulling his hand back from the handshake and staring at it, we get a flashback of that night on the asteroid as the alien stepped out and warned them about the ship exploding. It was a hooded figure, John, covered in weird alien gear, but we clearly couldn't tell what it was. But we do remember that one important clue.
It wasn't a kangaroo.
It wasn't a kangaroo. And it only had 3 fingers, just like Constant number 3. Duh, duh, duh. And I think the last shot of the movie is Constant 1 staring at the portal as it starts to close around Constant 3's body and face as Constant 3 smiles sinisterly and says, "About time you figured it all out. I'll be seeing you soon." And then the portal closes, and that's that. So
and we have 2 Constants still on the ship. I love this if we do, but no.
I think we only have 1. The first,
Okay.
but the second one already left. But they have temporal travel figured out now, so they can try to find each other.
The only thing I would add is whenever
Yes.
Constant 3 is talking or looking at people,
Yeah.
he's there, but as soon as they look away, he's either dead or gone, like Schrodinger's cat. Like he's not actually in your dimension until you look at him.
Right, has to be observed. Makes it tricky, but also easy to sneak about and cause all kinds of temporal mischief, which it seems like Constant 3 is doing. Seems like he may have had a pact with those kangaroo aliens that went south, but he was able to escape like Loki out there just causing chaos in the universe. Constant number 3.
It's all about the tube soup, and that concludes our first space journey. Well, second, we did send Muffin up to space in a miniskirt. I did remember that.
Just came back a hero, unlike our whim pilot or pilots who might be doomed by too many time travel loops.
If only this beer would have been checked in by someone named Muffin. But if you want to inspire our next feature film, we're doing a Fast 5 next week where we'll be cruising our friends on Untapped and looking for beers that we can turn into movie suggestions.
That's right. So check in on Thursday nights and tag us at Beer Me That Movie on Untapped to at least guarantee a consideration. You can also send us your suggestions on speakpipe.com/Beer Me That Movie. So until next week,
peace,
punch, and
give me
your tube soup.
The rat tail.
You got the lucky noodle. You got the lucky noodle.